Patrick Bet David discusses how Mark Zuckerberg actually exposes Facebook's COVID cover-up story, and that a whole lot more. It's a crazy episode. Thank you so much for watching Bring the Asteroid. Make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the channel, and you can find my channel at Isabella Moody. I post twice there every single day. Go subscribe. It's fun. I'm a little bit more feisty over there, so if you already think I'm annoying here, you probably don't want to watch me over there, but hey, if you like it, there's a lot more of that to come from. Anyways, also if you want to support this channel, check out our YouTube store because we have really cute new designs that I rock all the time. Anyways, let's get right into it.
Zuckerberg writes a love letter to a lot of people that claimed he was censoring them in 2020 election. So this is, if you can show the logo all the way at the top so they know it's Meta. Okay, so it's to the Honorable Jim Jordan, Chairman, Committee on the Judiciary. And then he says, Chairman Jordan, I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. There's a lot of talks right now around how the U.S. government interacts with companies like Meta, and I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety. Okay, we're good so far. In 2021, senior officials from Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down, and we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. So he mans up and takes responsibility for it, right? The fact that, look, they forced us, but we could have said no, but we said yes. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the leads up to the 2020 election. That fall, when we saw a New York Post story, we all remember the story, reporting on corruption allegations, including then Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's family. Guys, this is pretty bad. I mean, it doesn't get worse than this. We sent that story to fact checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation. And in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policy and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the U.S. while waiting for fact checkers. Rob, if you can go to the next story. Zoom in a little bit more. There you go. Apart from this content moderation, I want to address the contributions I made during the last presidential cycle to support electoral infrastructure. The idea was here to make sure local elections jurisdictions across the country had the resources they needed to help people vote safely during a global pandemic. I made these contributions through the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. They were designed to be nonpartisan. Of course, they were partisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analysis I've shown otherwise, I know that some people believe this work benefited only one party over the other. My goal is to be neutral, and I'll play a role one way or another, or even to appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. So Rob, go back to the tweet, and then Tom, I'm going to go to you first. Here's what I said. I said, so Zuckerberg just admitted to working with Biden-Harris administration to censor Americans. He's either admitting to this because he's being honorable, he's done with the Democratic Party, or he's getting ahead of a whistleblower. Either way, this is a very hard letter for him to write. Tom, your thoughts on the story?
Well, I think he's getting ahead of a whistleblower because I think there's going to be people that testify because there's going to be hearings. Trump wins, there is going to be hearings, and he knows it. How does he know? Well, words talk, numbers scream. And if you're Zuck, how do you scream? You scream with lobbyists. Rob, you have that chart real quick? So lobbying is how he talks to the government, and then he knows what's going on. He hears from people. Take a look at this. The social media people, which is Meta, ByteDance, which is our good friends at TikTok, right? X, Discord, and Snap, this is what they all spend. And if you take a look, Snap, Discord, and X, they hardly spend anything, not even 8% of it. The majority is ByteDance and Meta. Of the $30 million it spent, look at that blue bar. Meta spends by far the most. Of 142 registered lobbyists in social media, Meta has 71.
Get out of here, 50%.
50% of them. ByteDance is 45. And X, Discord, and Snap, they only have 25, with Snap and Discord having 17. So that means that Elon's got 8 lobbyists, like 11%.
How do you process that?
I process it is that Zuck is writing this to us, to Jim Jordan, who is going to chair the hearings. He knows what's coming, and he has the lobbyists up there that they have their ears on the ground. Lobbyists don't only talk to our elected officials, they listen to them. And I think Zuck knows exactly what's going on. There are stories out there and there are statistics out there that Instagram had and still has a pedophile problem. Pedophiles use coding and they try to beat the systems on Insta to have their postings, and that he still has that issue going on. And I wish in the last part of that letter that he didn't say, I won't be making a similar contribution this year. I wish he said he won't be making any. Because
Interesting. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit because there is a part that I really want to show you guys. So let me get there. Here we are.
For, how old is Zuck right now? 39? Has he hit 40
Probably
yet?
40 right now.
How old is Zuck? Zuck
Over under
age?
40.
Okay. I mean, he's
40.
Okay, he's 40 years old. So 2016, he's what? 32. 2020, he's 36. One of the smartest guys in the world, worth a couple $100 billion. Okay. Does he have the right to change his mind and sincerely be wrong?
Yes.
Does he have the right to do that? Yes?
not only the right,
Yes,
but the
of course.
obligation, like all of us.
Okay.
Everyone should.
But the point is, like, he can still change, right? He can still change and say, hey, I effed up. I effed up with my move on what I did. He can still do that.
Correct, but we don't have the obligation to forgive him. That was my point.
I'm totally with you. So, okay, that's great. We don't have the obligation to forgive him, which is kind of the part about we can, maybe forgive, move on, don't forget. He's capable of doing it again. Maybe you don't trust him. His trust score is lower with us right now. Okay, no problem. But if a person's going through this phase in our own lives, the longer you live, you're going to make mistakes in your relationships, business, company, people you do business with, whoever you're with, your marriage, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you're going to go through this. And one may come and say, hey, here's what happened. Now, the individual has the choice in a relationship to say, nope, I'm not, this is the line you cross, we're done, right? We're done with this relationship. I'm never going to be with you again. We're moving forward, okay? Or you can say, all right, the fact that you admitted to it, I'm going to give you a chance. Let's move on. So that's one category. Let's set that part aside. Let's go to the next one. The other side is, could there be a possibility that he is doing this because, to me, the way I read this is either he's now no longer a Democrat, he's no longer center, he's seeing all the guys that he admires and admired, okay, maybe an Ellison, I'm not even saying Musk, I'm saying an Ellison, a lot of these guys now moving to the center right, maybe a Peter Thiel, who gave him some money many, many years ago. Thiel gave this guy $500,000. They asked Thiel, what's one of the biggest mistakes you ever made in your life? You know what he said?
Not giving Facebook more?
He says, not giving Facebook more money on the second round that they came up to me, because I would have even more money. He says, I should have given to them.
He was the very first, remember?
He was the very first guy that gave $500,000. So he's watching Thiel that goes in this position. He's watching Ellison right there. He gave $500,000 in August of 2004. That $500,000 for 10% of the stake.
Nothing.
What is
I'm really going to cut it off there because there's not much that I need more from them. But I'm curious, what do you guys think Mark Zuckerberg's intentions are? Do you think that he should be forgiven because he's now saying, I was wrong and look at, these are the values I now have? Or would you just be like, nope, I don't trust you because you're a reptile? I don't know. I don't know where I stand. I don't commonly think about Mark Zuckerberg, but I don't know. I think it's cool that he's coming around. People are allowed to be wrong and change their minds. Like Donald Trump used to be a Democrat, right? So, people can change. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm always so curious. And as always, thank you so much for watching Bring the Asteroid. I'll see you next time. Bye.